We talked with House Speaker Mike Johnson yesterday here on Squawk Box, and this is what he had to say about President Biden's fiscal 2025 budget proposal.
The Biden budget came out. It would make the largest tax increases in U.S. history, about $4.9 trillion in tax increases. It would raise the debt to about $52 trillion over the next 10 years. We can't go down that road. We're going to crash the U.S. economy. We all recognize that. So what we present is the alternative view, and that is our House Budget Committee passed their resolution here in the last couple of weeks, and it would balance the federal budget in 10 years and cut $15 trillion in spending while not affecting Social Security or Medicare.
And joining us now to respond to that, Illinois Democratic Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi. We love doing this, Congressman. It's sort of an exercise in what could be but what will never be, but that doesn't stop us from talking about, I think, the priorities, the opposing priorities, I guess, or policy ideas of the differing parties that we have in a two-party system. What are your thoughts on what you just heard Speaker Johnson say, and what did you think of the proposed budget from the president?
So I respect Speaker Johnson. He's my classmate coming into Congress at the same time, but I really disagree with his conclusions about his budget. There are massive cuts, for instance, to Medicaid, children's health insurance program, even cuts to programs to ease the housing affordability crisis. With regard to the president's budget, I think it's directionally correct. But let the negotiations begin, Joe, because that's what happens around here when those budgets land in Congress.
Oh, geez, I'd love to have a budget. We've heard that this latest, I don't even know what you call it. It's like a kabuki dance. Congressman, we might get all the way to September. I mean, I won't know how to act. If we actually have something that lasts, will you? I mean, we can coast if we get to. It's a frustrating process to watch.
It is, and today, hopefully, we can at least, like you said, give us all a little bit of a reprieve. I think that it's a situation where I was actually with a friend and a colleague from the other side of the aisle, a Republican, who's going to be voting for the bill, and his complaint, he agreed with me that there's way too many people in the vote no, hope yes caucus. They want other people to vote for the budget, but they don't want themselves to be responsible for their budget so that they can rail against it. They can complain and criticize instead of being a constructive part of the process.
Let me ask you this, Congressman. We went through, I think, $4 trillion in spending under President Obama. Then we got up to 6 and change during the pandemic, and now we are talking about $7 trillion for 2025. We know that we've got a lot of debt interest that we're paying that keeps us, that soaks up a lot of the revenue that we have. We'd like to do it for other things. Why do we still have to spend emergency level amounts that were maybe more appropriate during the pandemic? Why don't we try to cut where we can for things that would allow us maybe to someday spend more money on good things, but we're not going to have it if we just keep spending it all now?
I don't disagree with you, Joe. I think you make a great point. And as the ranking member of the Select Committee with regard to the competition with the Chinese Communist Party, we absolutely have to invest in those areas that are going to be important for our competitiveness, whether it's basic research and development or making sure that our workforce is skilled for technologies of the future, as well as increasing some of our defense spending to deter conflict with the CCP. All that being said, I think that this is an ongoing problem. I was a former small businessman. I like to say I signed the front of the check and the back of the check. We have way too much debt, and so we have to both reduce spending, but also we have to see what has to be done on the revenue side so that we can balance the budget.
I got a good one for you, Congressman, while I got you here. We need growth, so it's going to come from AI. It's going to come from AI. The whole $34 trillion, we're getting rid of that somehow. No, it actually could help.
We may need artificial intelligence because our natural intelligence may be escaping us right now.
if we ask artificial intelligence, they might say we need to do something about some of the entitlements that are the programs aren't going to be around unless we don't do something. But my point was, it could help with productivity, and we are the envy of the world in terms of Silicon Valley and technology and innovation and entrepreneurs. Here we go again. Now we don't like Apple.
Yes,
now
sir.
The Justice Department.
But can I say?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I say one thing? I think that if you put in your Chat GPT or your AI program, how do you balance the budget? How do you make sure America keeps growing? I think one thing that it would definitely spit out is fixing our legal immigration system, Joe.
Yep.
I know that we have a problem right now on the southern border, and we can talk about that, but our legal immigration system, these are people who are waiting in queue to come to America legally, is now more than 1 million people long, okay? And these are the future entrepreneurs, the future investors, the future employers of our economy, future workers, and yet we're keeping them out. And this doesn't make any sense if we're to compete with the CCP or anyone else.
I think Elon Musk even made that point, that it's so hard to do it legally, you might as well go down and just come on in. That's not the way it should be. So you got to address both sides of that issue at the same time.
That's absolutely right, and we can't win this competition with the CCP by
Tell me about
keeping
the Justice
out
Department.
The innovators.
Should we be going after Apple? Is that a good usage of our time and efforts? You think?
You're trying to get me into trouble, man.
Yeah, I am.
Look, my iPhone costs $900. If it could cost a little bit less, it would be nice. But that's beyond my bailiwick.
No one's forcing you. No one's forcing you, Congressman. You love that ecosystem, don't you?
I do. Look, obviously, this decision is above my pay grade. But what I can say is, I'm glad that the Biden administration is looking to make sure that we have a situation of level playing field, especially for small businesses and others who are competing with the larger ones.